I hope you enjoyed the video. I think it gives just a little bit of an understanding of all the different things we're doing in the automobile industry and all the challenges that we have as we look at alternative propulsion and we look at urban vehicles versus typical vehicles that we have, and all the technology that is going into vehicles. It truly is an area that is just growing exponentially. But today I'd like to talk to you about two things: engineering and entrepreneurship. And I'm probably going to aim my remarks at about 15 minutes to provide plenty of opportunity for you to ask questions. But first, to start about entrepreneurship, I'm sure as you looked at the lecture, me today, you're like, you probably wouldn't list General Motors in your top 10 list of most entrepreneurial companies. Am I right? Might you? All right, I'm correct on that assumption then. And then especially from my background, here I've been at General Motors for 31 years. So how do I think about entrepreneurship? Because I believe it's fundamental, whether you're in a business of one person or 100,000 people, that if you don't have an entrepreneurial bent, you're not going to succeed in today's business with the global competition and just the ever-changing technology. So when I look at, if you look at Webster, Webster says an entrepreneur is a person who organizes, operates, and assumes the risk of a business venture. Well, I can tell you in my current role, I'm responsible, as Jack said, for global product development, the designing, the engineering of the vehicle and the powertrain, the quality, the program management. We have about 30,000 engineering resources around the globe. And right now we're working on over 100 programs, different vehicle programs to be launched in the next couple years. And as I look at that activity, I clearly feel my role is to organize and operate. And I can tell you, and if you have any question, Dan Ackerson, our chairman and CEO, I'm definitely assuming the risk for every single one of those 100 vehicle programs to make sure that they get on the road. I know, so when I look at that and I look at the role in a big company, it's definitely what you face. Another definition of entrepreneurship comes from the economist Joseph Schumpeter, and he has a theory of creative destruction and indicates that capitalism succeeds because it remakes and improves what came before, and that the engine or the dynamic factor in his system is the entrepreneur. And if you think about it, I really like the theory of creative destruction. In fact, it's one of the key things I need to make sure we have within the global product development organization. Yes, we need to continuously improve and refine what we do, but we always, every single engineer, whether, of the 30,000, the bulk of those individuals are design release engineers, designing every single part and subsystem that goes on the vehicle. I need every single one of them willing to completely change the concept for what they do today, to take it to the next level, to use the technology that maybe wasn't available yesterday and isn't quite available today, but will be tomorrow. The same is true for a vehicle chief engineer. If you think about it, the engineer that's responsible to integrate that vehicle, make all the trade-offs in line with what the customer wants, they're really an entrepreneur, and that's the way they have to kind of work through the system at General Motors. They have to make sure that they're working with the marketing organization, kind of a surrogate for the customer if you're in a small entrepreneurial venture, that the marketing is going to be the customer, that they want to take it to the field. They have to work within the cost structure and get all the components and integrate it. So really, in today's General Motors, to get a new vehicle out into the field, that vehicle chief engineer is an entrepreneur for their vehicle. The ones that succeed in the marketplace are the ones where their leader was incredibly passionate about that vehicle, who understood the customer and not only what the customer wants today, but what taking that, pairing it with technology, and looking at the opportunity and filling a space that, again, as we look at some of the devices that you have with you today, 5 years ago, you didn't know you needed them, and today, you can't live without them.